Hi everyone, welcome. My name is Billy. Today I would like to share with you 3 polka dot shift dresses that are inspired by the Mary Quant mini dress that I talked about in my last video number 52. The Mary Quant mini dress is a free sewing pattern that is provided by the Victoria and Albert Museum in London in connection with the Mary Quant exhibition that started in April 2019. The original idea for today's dresses is that I would continue the mini dress sort of trend. But instead of the sleeveless dresses, I would add sleeves to the dress. And so I wanted originally to add sort of 3/4 length sleeve with a little puff, and that is cinched in at the hem area. And I would omit the collar, the round collar, but I would keep the teardrop shaped cutout detail. And then instead of the loop thing that was in the previous 2 dresses, I would make 2 ties, so then I would be able to tie them up in the pretty bow tie. And then I will keep the other elements from the Mary Quant mini dress. So for example, so here I would still have the 2 pockets here that I use the round version, and then also I would still have the belt here in the back. And this dress, instead of a shift dress that you just put over the head, I decided to add a zipper in the center back. And so there is a center back zipper going down there. But of course, then I need to figure out how to be able to remove the belt here. So what I did was, actually it was pretty easy. I just had 2 snaps here, and then the button here, and these 2 sides are sewn to the belt is sewn to the exterior layer of the dress, but this side it stays free, and so this allows me to zip and unzip. And then when I'm done, I would just button it up and then fix it with the snaps. The sleeves that I use for today's dresses is not a sleeve that comes with the Mary Quant free dress pattern available from the Victoria and Albert Museum. Instead, I use a different free pattern. This is a pattern from the French pattern company Dress Your Body. And I previously used the 3/4 length sleeves for the black rayon version of my monster shirt that I talked about in video 48. And because I really love that sleeve, so I decided to use that sleeve for today's dresses. But because the armhole for this one is smaller than my monster shirt, so I ended up having a bit of a gathering here at the sleeve head area, and which actually I really love, even though that was not anticipated. So after I inserted the sleeve and the outer shells, and I, hanging on this thing actually behind me, there is a hook right at the top of the door, the closet door. And I decided I really liked the way it was, so I decided to change course midway. So I decided to also omit the teardrop shade, and instead of the puff, instead of the puffed 3/4 length sleeves, I decided to actually narrow down the sleeves here ever so slightly, about I think 1/2 inch on either side, and so that gives me a very fitted 3/4 length sleeves. And so that was kind of what happened. So I really love the way it is. And so instead of a mini dress that I had originally planned for, I decided that this would be a dress that I could wear for work, if and when we actually are meeting in person. So then for this one, I had the minimum amount of hem for this one. I think it's just about half an inch, which is the minimum required for a blind hem foot on my machine. And so overall, I am really happy about how this one turned out. In my last video, when I was talking about the fit of the sleeveless dresses, I mentioned that there was a bit of a gape in the back of the armhole here. But it actually was not because the armhole was too large. It's actually because the seam line here is not actually at my shoulder, but instead the seam line was kind of pushed towards the back. And therefore that there was just excess fabric for the back portion of the armhole, and that's why there was gaping there. So what I had to do to bring the shoulder seam to line up with my own shoulder is that I had to reduce a little portion for the front bodice here. So what I did was I took out about half an inch here from the for the front piece, and then connected back, so it's a bit of a triangle connecting it back to the neckline. And so that's how it was able to bring the shoulder seam forward. And so now the shoulder seam sits on top of my actual shoulder. I lined this shift dress with black cotton lawn that I purchased from moofabrics.com. And being from Moo, the quality is really there, so I'm very happy about how soft this cotton lawn is. And the reason I wanted to use cotton lawn instead of, say, silk or, say, viscose rayon is that cotton lawn, even though it's fairly thin, it does have more body versus the other two options. And therefore, it will be able to support the shape of the shift dress better. And so that was my rationale, and I'm very happy to report that it did pan out fairly well. So overall, I am quite happy about how the shift dress was able to kind of keep its shape. So that's sort of how it looks. So here is a quick video of this black polka dot dress, and I paired the dress with a pair of 3.5-inch heels in suede that is from Marc Jacobs. And overall, I am just really happy about this dress, how it turned out. I know I say this all the time, but I really am. This dress pays homage to the 60s design element, but it looks still perfectly contemporary, and so I am really happy how it worked out. And I think being a fairly classic in its design element, it should serve me very well for many years to come. The second dress that I will share with you today is this red polka dot version. So overall, basically, all the design elements are the same. So the same 3/4 length sleeves, and the same, the round pockets this way here. And I'm really happy I was able to find 25mm red buttons. That is a really good match to this one here. And also I did the same decorative belt, the same construction method as the black polka dot version. I forgot to mention that the reason I had these two buttons to secure the belt to the dress, plus also on one side I stitched it down, and the other side using the snaps. And the reason I had so many basically 4 points to secure the belt to the dress is that originally I just had the two buttons, but then the end will kind of flap around, and that was not like so thrilling to me. So I decided to sew this part down by hand, and then this other side, the side that opens up with snaps. And so that now will keep the belt perfectly, sort of in place, even when I move around. For this red polka dot version, I made two simple changes to the pattern from the black polka dot version. Number one is I wanted to give this dress a bit more pronounced A-line shaping. And so what I did was I thinned out the dress portion, at the end here by about 1 inch on either side, and then just drew a line tapering out. And so now this dress has a more pronounced A-line shape than before. And so I'm really happy about this shape. So that in a way gives it a bit more of a 60s vibe from before. So that is change number one. And change number two was somehow after I made this up, there were just a lot of fabric in the back, just like a lot of volume. And when I sit down or when I put the belt on, it just seems so bulky. So what I did was to just added 2 darts in the back, and not sure what they're called, but they're a bit of a diamond shaped, like this. And so in each dart width, at the widest part is about 2 centimeters, and so that really took care of that excess volume. And so now I think the dress looks much more streamlined and fits better in the back. So overall, I am really happy about the result. To go with this red dress, I decided to paint my nails red, and so here they are. Normally, I do not wear such bright colors because I'm typing on my computer all day long, and plus now I'm also cooking and cleaning, and they would just chip so easily. But I have been really neglecting my nails since COVID hit because I'm just working from home, so my nails are sort of in bad shape, and so I finally decided to get my act together and gave myself a proper manicure and painted them, and so now they look really great. And so even the simple act of brushing my teeth now look much more elegant when I brush my teeth with a manicure hand. So sorry for the digression. So here is a video of this red polka dot dress, and I paired this dress with a pair of 3.5-inch heels, also in suede and also from Marc Jacobs. And overall, I really love this red dress. That it really looks very cheery. And even though generally, in New York, people tend to wear everything black, and I am no exception. But as I get older now, I feel that I want to have a little more color in my wardrobe, and that's why in the videos that I share with you, you tend to see a lot more color than a typical New Yorker's wardrobe. The final dress that I will share with you today is this one here, made from about 1.5 yards of about a 60-inch wide cotton and linen blend that I purchased from a store in New York City's garment district a little more than 2 years ago when it was having a liquidation sale because it was about to go out of business. And so here's a close-up look of this fabric. And for this version, I made no further changes from the red polka dot version. So it has the same, fit, and also the flared out skirt, and also the same pockets, the rounded pockets, and also the decorated belt. And for this dress, I lined it with cotton voile that I purchased from fabric.com. And about this fabric, when I was buying it from the store, I just thought it was a standard cotton twill. And because the guy was really busy, during this liquidation process, and part of the bolt has a bit of a water damage, so the guy gave it to me super cheap. I think I paid maybe $3 a yard for this, and at the time I thought it was an excellent price for a cotton twill. But now actually I realize it's actually cotton linen blend. It really was an excellent price for that. And so when I was preparing to make this garment, I just put the whole thing into the washing machine, and the water stain came out, perfectly, no issue whatsoever. And so I am really happy about this dress. And originally, I didn't realize it was a linen cotton blend, even when I was pre-washing it. But as I was starting to make this dress up, I noticed that the drape of this dress is much more stiff than the black polka dot dress or the red polka dot dress. And then, so I looked a bit closely more closely at the fabric, then I realized that it definitely has some linen in it. And how much linen, I have no idea, but my guess is probably about 50-50 mix. So definitely this dress wrinkles a little more easily than the other two, but not too bad. So overall, I am really happy about this dress. And being white, I think it's a bit more summery, even though it's more of a spring dress, because this will be too warm to wear in the heat of summer in New York City. And so here is a quick video of this white polka dot dress, and I paired this dress with a pair of 3.5-inch heels in suede from Marc Jacobs. And overall, I really like these shift dresses. They are really quick to make versus the other dresses with separate bodice and skirt, and also a nice change from a very fitted bodice dresses that I've been making. And one good thing about shift dresses is that if you eat a big lunch, it will not be so noticeable. So that's kind of nice. And also, as I'm filming this, I noticed that my new manicure really goes very well with this white dress. So overall, very happy about the manicure and the dress. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. So please do stay safe, be well, and I hope I will see you soon. Bye bye.